Here we have a pair of parallel lines. You have AB and CD. They are parallel to each other. We know that they're parallel because of these two arrows, right? That's how we know that two lines are parallel. And then you have the transversal EF. So a transversal is just any line that cuts across a pair of parallel lines. Now, if you know one angle that is formed between the transversal and the parallel lines, you can figure out all the other angles. And let me show you how. Well, the first one I'll start with is here we have an angle of 130, and that angle is on this straight line AB. And if you recall, angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So it means that if this angle is 130 degrees, the one right next to it, this supplementary angle, we call it supplementary angles when they add up to 180 degrees. So this angle here will be 50 degrees, right? And if you also recall, whenever you have a pair of lines like that intersecting each other, they form vertically opposite angles. So the angles opposite each other are equal, which means that the angle on the bottom here will also be 130 degrees. And the angle that is opposite 50 will also be 50. And of course, these are all angles around a point. They will all add up to 360 degrees. Now, there's other rules about the angles formed between a pair of parallel lines and the transversal. We have what we call um, corresponding angles, so angles that are in the same position, meaning that you see how this angle here of 130 is below the parallel line to the right of the transversal. It means that this angle down here, which is also below the parallel line and to the right of the transversal EF, would be 130 degrees. And of course, the angle opposite that will be 130 degrees as well. And we know that 130 plus 50 on a straight line will make up the 180 degrees, and the angle opposite, the angle 50, would also be the same 50 degrees, right? So this is how you could figure out all the different angles between the transversal and the parallel lines, right? So there are other special, what can I say, features about the angles. For example, this angle here of 50 and this angle of 50, these are called alternate interior angles, right? So they're angles on the different sides of the parallel lines that are on, sorry, different sides of the transversal, between the parallel lines. So they are alternate interior angles and they are equal. So 50 and 50 here would be alternate interior angles, as well as this 130 and this 130. They will also be alternate interior angles. And you look for them because they're like kind of like a Z shape, right? So like this is the Z shape. Here's your parallel line, here's your parallel line. And these angles here, those are called your alternate interior angles, and they're equal. So you look for the Z shape for those. For the corresponding angles, like the first one I identified was the 130 and 130. So you kind of look for those. It's like a F shape. So it will be like here and here, right? So these are called corresponding angles. And yeah, that's basically, I think, a good piece of information about the pair of parallel lines and the transversal, the angle.